Have you ever created something that surrounded a cause that you were passionate about? Hey friends, it's me, Shannon, and I am back for another video. This is actually another kind of draw and procreate with me type thing. So I will be talking about the piece that I'm making along with the procreate video. Many of you, if you've watched my previous videos, you may know that I lost my 21-year-old son 2 years ago. This March, it was last Friday, was the 2-year anniversary. If you are not aware, he took his own life. It came really out of the blue. None of us had any inclination that he was having those type of thoughts. And it has been incredibly devastating to our family. And there's a huge sense of hopelessness that comes whenever you lose someone, but particularly when you lose someone in this manner at such a young age. There's just this strong feeling of, why did this happen? Why couldn't we have changed it? If I had done this or that, would things have been different? There's a lot of guilt. There's a lot of bargaining that happens when the reality is the decision was made and there is absolutely no way to change it. It's done. It's final. And while I was dealing with that, I wanted to shout at everyone I met that they're loved, that people care for them, because you never know what's going on with someone on the inside. And if there's one thing that I learned, is that even though my son may have felt alone and that he may have felt like there wasn't anything left for him in this life, that couldn't have been further from the truth. His memorial was full of people who loved him and cared about him and are going to miss him tremendously for the rest of their lives. And I just sometimes wonder, had he known that, had he known how many people's lives he impacted, how many people loved him, how many people whose lives were not impacted negatively ever because of this choice that he had made. If he had known that, would he have made a different choice? Now, a little bit about my son. He is what was known as twice exceptional, which means he was highly intelligent, but he was also autistic. And having taught talented and gifted students for almost 10 years and having dealt with twice exceptional students, including my own, probably myself, right? Like, understanding the difference in the way that they think, right? Those kids need something different. They struggle in this world because they're different on multiple levels. And oftentimes they're only recognized for one difference. And especially if they are particularly smart, a lot of times their needs on the other end of the spectrum go unmet, which was the case for my son. For many years, I didn't know that much about autism. I certainly didn't know enough to say, hey, there's something different about him in a sense that he needs to be tested. I knew that there was something different about him. I also knew that he was highly intelligent, right? However, looking back in elementary school, there were things that happened that should have been an indication to the school that he was autistic. And at no point did anyone in that school say, hey, maybe you need to have him tested for some things. I had behavior problems growing up, so I didn't think it was abnormal if my kids had behavior problems. And my kids, for the most part, did not have a lot of behavior problems. But when he was in kindergarten, particularly, he would freeze up. Like, he didn't deal with conflict and he didn't deal with communication very well. These are all indications of being on the autism spectrum. But I didn't know at that point. I wasn't a teacher yet. I hadn't went through any type of training. Fast forward several years, I'm now a teacher. I'm sitting in a training specifically focusing on autism. And at this point, my son is 14 years old. So he has went through most of his schooling being identified as gifted, but not twice exceptional. I've been having some problems with him at school around academics, and I'm sitting in this training class and I go, oh my God, she just fucking described my son. Every single problem that he dealt with, particularly around social cues and communication and all of that. And so I went home and I talked to him. Hey, this is what I think. What do you think? Is it something you want to find out, pursue? Do you want to move forward with it? And he said, yeah, if that would help explain who I am, I want to know. So we talked to our doctor, gave us a recommendation to a very wonderful psychiatrist who made his own appointments and was able to see us within 2 weeks, which, if you know anything about child psychiatry, that is absolutely unheard of. I would love to give you that doctor's name, but he is now retired. He was phenomenal. Did testing. He tested his IQ. He tested him for autism. His findings were that he had a very high IQ and that he was on the autism spectrum, but he was on the mild side. It impacted his daily life, but not in terms of to a point where he couldn't function society, I guess. So we learned more about it, and there's a lot of guilt that moms deal with. If you're a mom out there, you deal with guilt. It just is. But particularly around finding out something about your child that you feel like you should have known. How I should have known that, I don't know, because the reality of it is I am 100% sure that I am also autistic. Have been. There are so many indications from when I was a child that scream autism. And if I didn't know I had it, how was I going to see it in any of my children? But also, I have ADHD. I am diagnosed with ADHD. I'm in the 99th percentile for combined ADHD. It's crazy. But I was a girl, so girls weren't diagnosed in the 80s and 90s with ADHD because it was a boy problem, apparently. There were so many girls that were not diagnosed when I was younger. So anyways, my son struggled. He graduated in 2020, which, if you know anything about the kids that graduated in 2020, it was a fucked up year to graduate because of COVID. He didn't get to go on a senior trip that we had paid for. He didn't get to do the normal graduation stuff. He didn't go to prom. We did have a graduation party for him later on. He did get to graduate. They did it on the football field, 6 feet apart. It was crazy. But then he went on to college, and hindsight is 2020. 2020. I shouldn't have let him go that first year because I knew he was going to struggle with it all being virtual because college was all virtual, and I knew he was going to struggle with that. He did not go to student accessibility and get his 504 accommodations, which would have been extremely helpful to him, which now, having had a younger son go through that process at college, please, if you are going to college or you have a child going to college and they have a 504, they have an IEP, they qualify for accessible services, please go get them, because the services that they offer at college are way better than what they offer in high school. They are amazing and can help students and will help students, but the student has to initiate it, or you have to have a parent that forces you to initiate it, like my younger son did, because my middle son did not. Anyways, so did not have a good first year, failed out, decided that college was not for him, ended up coming back to the city that we live in, got an apartment with friends, and started working full time, and was going to look at getting into some type of a trade. And I thought he was doing well. He lived a mile away from me. He stopped in all the time. He had a girlfriend. He had dinner with one of his sisters every week. It really came out of the blue. And when it happened, I did not want anyone, not one person in this world, to feel the way that he did, to not realize how much you matter to other people. Even if it's just one person. We matter to so many more than one person. But even if there's one person out there who would be devastated by losing you, and you may not even know that person exists, but they do. There's more than one. There are so many people who care about you and who love you because you matter. And that is a message that I want the entire world to know. And that was the drive behind creating this piece. I wanted everyone to know that they matter in this world, that this world needs them and this world wants them to be here. And I've made stickers, and I've made greeting cards, and I've made prints, And I want everyone to know, like, you do not have to buy my art. But for these particular products, $1 from the sale of every single product that I sell is going to be donated to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Because I don't want any other person to feel this way. I don't want any other person to lose someone because they didn't know that they had people in their lives that they mattered to. And is that a pie in the sky wish? Yes, because I also realize how messed up our mental health care is in this country right now. And the number of people that want to just check out, particularly because of the emotional climate that we live in, it's hard. It's hard being alive right now, and I understand that. We need every single person that is struggling to exist in this time right now. We need every single one of them to help us make this world better. You are loved, you matter, and you are needed. And if you don't believe me, reach out to me because I will have a conversation with you to help you understand how much you are needed in this world. I've just passed the 2-year anniversary of the loss of my son. I'm creating a children's book based loosely on my son and the way he was in the world. But my dream, and hey, you people out there, I have a PhD in education. I've been a teacher for 15 years, talented and gifted teacher, but my dream is to actually go talk to particularly elementary school teachers, but teachers in general, about how important it is for them to recognize the needs of twice exceptional students. And guys, I get it. I'm a teacher. I understand how hard it is to meet the needs of every student in your classroom and how easy it is to not worry about the student who instantly gets it, right? There are other students who are struggling and they need your help, and it's easy to overlook the needs of those kids who aren't as vocal about it or understand what you're teaching them, and it's easier to miss some of the emotional needs that they have. And there's a million different things we're being pushed as teachers. Oh, you got to do this and you got to do that, and we're going to try this brand new thing, and we're going to try that brand new thing, and oh, you need to grade and you need to plan, but you can't do it during your working hours because that's when you have to be with the students. I get how impossible this job is. I do. But my dream is to travel around to different schools and talk to general education teachers, particularly elementary ones, about the importance of recognizing twice exceptional students and trying to understand their needs. Their needs go hand in hand with the other students. I guarantee you they do. This piece came from a desire to help everyone understand that they matter. And if you would like to support me, you will find these products in my Etsy shop. And know that particularly with these products, if you're supporting me, you're also helping to support the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, who does really great work in this world. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for subscribing if you're subscribed. Thank you for liking my videos or commenting on my videos if you do that. That support is so important. I've been seeing my subscriber count slowly go up. I think when I first started posting videos every week again, I was at 30 and I'm at 65 now. I get that compared to other channels, that may seem small, but that means I've doubled my subscriber count in 3 months. And there are 35 more people who are watching my videos. And I just hope that I can keep bringing something that helps your day or makes your day better, because that really is what I'm hoping to do with this channel. I want you to know, all 65 of you, that I love you. And it's so important to me that you're here. And I'm so appreciative of it. Thank you for watching. If you know anyone that you think would also enjoy my videos, please share them with other people. And I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much. Bye.